Alright, let's do this. Microsoft Fundamentals. Let's watch the vid.
And that means that I spend my days explaining cloud computing to people like you. And I'd like to welcome you to Azure Fundamentals Learning Path. Now, within this learning path, you'll get to understand some of the core cloud computing concepts and what some of the advantages of cloud computing
Core
are,
Cloud.
and you'll also be introduced to the cloud service model. Now, this learning path will also introduce you to Microsoft's cloud computing offering, which is Microsoft Azure. And it'll help you understand how it works, what it does, and more importantly, you'll get a chance to be hands-on with Microsoft Azure, learning how to deploy a website on the platform. And lastly, the learning path will take you through some of the terminology that surrounds cloud computing. So you'll be hearing terms like IaaS, PaaS, serverless, elasticity, and finally, you'll get to understand what they all mean. On completion of this learning path, you'll have a great foundational knowledge to build on for your cloud computing journey.
Alright, let's start. New to Cloud, Azure Fundamentals is a 6-part series that teaches you basic cloud concepts, provide streamlined overview of many Azure services, and guides you with hands-on exercises to deploy your very first services for free. Okay.
New to the cloud. Azure Fundamentals is a 6-part series that teaches you basic cloud concepts, provides a streamlined overview of many Azure services, and guides you with hands-on exercises to deploy your very first services for free.
Services.
After completing this learning path, you'll be able to understand the benefits of cloud computing in Azure and how it can save you time and money. Explain cloud concepts such as high availability, scalability, elasticity, agility, and disaster recovery. Describe core Azure architecture components such as subscriptions, management groups, resources and resource groups. Summarize geographic distribution concepts such as Azure regions, region pairs, and availability zones.
Here are the learning paths in this series. Part 1, describe core Azure concepts. Part 2, describe core Azure services. So Azure concepts, Azure services, solutions management tools, general security, network security. Identity governance, privacy and compliance features. And services, service level agreements, SLA, call center. Okay, next, familiar basic computing concepts terminology. Understanding cloud computing is helpful. Okay, cloud computing, ano yan? Yung mga cloud computing, services under cloud. Cloud computing, yan yung computer na nasa cloud. No? Start. Start. So, that's the introduction. Azure is a cloud computing platform with ever-expanding set of services to help you build solutions, meet your business goals. As computers. Kaya natin. Notes. Itong notes na to. So web services hosting your business presence for the cloud, running fully virtualized computers, run on your custom software solutions. Azure provides a world cloud services, remote storage, database hosting, pwede rin sa kanya, centralized account management. Meron din siyang AI at Internet of Things. Ano tong Internet of Things? Internet of Things. IoT. IoT. What is IoT? Is the interconnection. Ah, okay. Internet computing devices embedded in everyday objects. Computing devices. Parang cloud computing din. Ginawa lang redundant. Enabling send and receive of data. What else? Okay, this module and take entry level end-to-end local Azure scalability against automation for clean levels. So, what is Azure Fundamentals? Azure Fundamentals is 6 learning paths, 6 paths. Parang Naruto lang. That will allow you to Azure and its many services and features. Whether you're interested in Azure's core compute, network storage, and database services, learning about cloud security best practices, exploring cutting edge in IoT and machine learning. Think of Azure Fundamentals as your creative guide to Azure. Azure Fundamentals includes interactive exercises that gives you hands-on experience with Azure. Many exercises for Azure Smart Code Sandbox, which allows you to learn feature. Oh, nice sandbox, nice. Technical IT experience not required. Why should I take Azure Fundamentals? Whether you're just beginning to work in the cloud or you already have cloud experience and are new to Azure, Azure Fundamentals provide you with everything you need to get started. No matter your goals, Azure Fundamentals has something for you. Take Azure Fundamentals if you have general interest in Azure or in cloud, want to earn official certification from Microsoft, preparation for exam AZ900. The Azure Fundamentals Learning Path series can help you prepare for exam AZ900, which is a Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. This exam includes 6 knowledge domain areas. Okay, domain expansions. They have describe cloud concepts, describe core Azure services, describe core solutions management tools on Azure, describe general security and network features, describe identity governance, privacy compliance features, describe Microsoft cost management, and service level agreements. So, yan yung mga pag-aaralan natin. Just marami-rami. Magawa tayo ng notes about them. Okay natin yan. Sisingit tayo ng mga notes below. Alright, so collect tayo natin ng information about dyan sa mga core, mga domain areas na itatackle sa ating exam. So, tabi ko muna yung notes ko. Alright, each domain area maps a learning path in Azure Fundamentals. The percentages shown indicate the relative weight of each area on the exam. The higher the percentage, the more questions that part of the exam will contain. Huh? Ah, okay. So maraming cloud concepts. Tsaka yung exam more focus on cloud concepts at identity governance, privacy, and compliance. Okay. This training helps you develop a broad understanding of Azure. Having real-world experience will help reinforce the concepts that you're more fully prepared for the exam, how to apply your skills on the job. Learning objectives. After completing this module, you're able to describe the basic concepts of cloud computing, determine whether Azure is the right solution for your business needs, differentiate between the different methods of creating an Azure subscription. Prerequisites. You should be familiar with the basic computing concepts and terminology. Familiarity with cloud computing is helpful, but isn't necessary. Okay. What is cloud computing? Have you ever wondered what cloud computing is? It's the delivery of computing services over the internet. Computing services. Okay. Delivery of computing services DAO. So, cloud computing services. Ano yan? Ang spelling pagkaks. Okay. Cloud computing services. What are those? Mm, mm, yan yun. Ito yun. Yung mga infrastructure as a service, no? Marami silang type ng cloud computing services. May IaaS, PaaS, Tuhods. Ay, ito, ayan. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS, no? No, your ass. Provides users access to raw computing resources such as processing power, data storage capacity, and networking. So, yan, IaaS. Infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure. Infrastructure. Yan. Matawa ka naman. Infrastructure. Ibig sabihin yan, hmm? May ganun. May Technopedia. Oh, information technology infrastructure. What is the information components? Hmm. Typically physical components na may iba't ibang software. So, ito ang infrastructure, no? Hmm. Sample. Sample ng IT infrastructure. Tulad niyan. Diba? Composed ng mga physical components at iba't ibang software. Okay, so palabas, kung halimbawa dito, Google. Pwede siya sa mobile, pwede sa laptop, server, desktop. Ganun. What is infrastructure? So ito, basic systems and services, no? Ano yung mga in-offer na service? Ano yung mga ginagamit na hardware, physical components? Paano yung pagkakaayos nila? Ito yun, yung infrastructure. So, based yan sa process at saka sa mga kailangan tools, softwares para mapatakbo yung isang system at service. Halimbawa, kailangan mo web hosting. Ano mga kailangan? Kailangan mo ng server, ng web server, application server, um, storage, no? O, kasama na yung router, lahat ng mga physical components para makapag-host ka ng website. Tawag doon, infrastructure. Alright? Oo, yun. Alam ko yun. Mm. Hardware, software, and services. set of physical devices, software applications that are required to operate the entire enterprise. So yun yung kabuuan, components ng isang service. Web hosting service, lahat ng components at applications, hardware, software na involved sa service na yun, tawag doon ay infrastructure. Nag-search naman tayo dyan sa infrastructure na yan. Ayun, nag-lag pa internet. Ang bagal ng internet. Ay, ang bagal. Nasa Pinas kasi ako ngayon eh. Dapat di ako dito sa Pinas nag-stream. Anyways, yeah, moving on. So, yep, delivery of computing services, right? So again, the computing services are called platform infrastructure as a service. There's one. Another one is the platform as a service geared towards over environment teams, over computing storage infrastructure, over development platform layer with components such as web servers, database management systems, and software development kits, and software as a service. Okay, so platform as a service. Sa pagkakaintindi ko, ito yung um, allows you to use platforms through cloud. So parang VMware, right? Or vCenter. Oh, pwede kang gumamit ng platform service using vCenter. So halos lahat nandun na. Pwede kang gumawa ng VMs. Ang gusto ko sa mga VMs na yun. Gusto ko yung web servers, database, di ba? And next one, software as a service. So yung cloud computing service na ang common example nito is yung Active Directory, di ba? Ito yung na-offer talaga ni cloud, ni Azure. Ito yung pinaka ano nila, pinaka tawag doon, bestseller ba yun? Or main service software nila na in-offer. Okay? Ito ang lamang nila versus AWS, Google, no? Sa kanila yung Active Directory. Dahil Microsoft ang gumawa ng Active Directory. So, yun ang isang example sa software as a service. Okay? Application of services. So far, ito yung common na cloud computing services. Ito yung types, common types, no? Again, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS, SaaS, PaaS. Isa pa. Okay? IaaS, SaaS, PaaS. Isa pa. Pwede na yan. Alright, moving on. Okay, it is what's cloud computing? Delivery computing services over the internet, which is otherwise known as the cloud. These services include servers, storage databases, networking, software analytics, and intelligence. Cloud computing offers faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. Alright, meron tayong video. Panoorin natin.
What is cloud computing? Just like when you shop for your own computer, cloud computing lets you choose the power and features you need to run your software. The difference is, with cloud computing, the PC is in a cloud provider's data center instead of physically with you. This lets you pay for only the services you use. Plus, someone else gets to manage the upkeep of the computer. Each cloud provider will have their own selection of services to choose from.
So, hindi mo na kailangan ng data center, pre. Basta internet na lahat. Wala kami ni-maintain na server. Wala kami nabayaran ng data center, kuryente, no? Lahat nandun na. Okay? Parang online na services. Nasa cloud na. Kaya na tinawag na cloud. Kasi titingin ka lang sa taas, imagine mo na lang. No? Alright. Kwentang po.
But the basic services provided by all cloud providers are compute power and storage. Compute power is how much processing your computer can do. For example, when buying a home computer, you may choose a computer with 8 gigabytes of RAM and the latest processor to run the software you need today. But as the load on the computer grows, you find that it slows down. With cloud computing, you can add and remove compute power as you need it. This saves on costs, since you only pay for the resources you use. Storage is the volume of data you can store on your computer. A traditional computer has limited hard drive space. Over time, you may have to run out and buy another hard drive to store more data. With cloud computing, you can request more storage as you need it. Cloud providers manage the upkeep of the computer, so you don't have to. They will make sure that there are backups, that the operating system is up to date, as well as making sure that everything is up and running 24 hours a day. So as your business grows and your computing needs change, you can quickly bring on new computing resources in a cost-effective way.
Nice. So based dun sa video, kung may business ka, no, then hindi mo na kailangan ng mga um, physical hardware na bibilin. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-upgrade. Yung cloud ng bahala. No? So mas matipid kasi sa maintenance sila nang bahala eh. Ang babayaran mo na lang yung renta mo ng compute power mo at yung storage. Right, why is cloud computing typically cheaper to use? Okay, so dito malaman ano, bakit mas okay itong cloud kaysa yung meron kang sariling data center, no? Alright, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet by using pay-as-you-go pricing model. You typically pay only for the cloud services you use, which helps you lower your operating costs, run your infrastructure more efficiently, scale as your business needs change. So, yun lang ang binabayaran mo dito. Hindi ka na nagbayad ng kuryente, kung ano mong bills, internet bill, provider. No? Ay, hindi kailangan pala provider. Paano ako makakonect sa cloud? Po. So, ayan. Yan, mas mababa kasi ang binabayaran mo lang dito is yung compute. No? Yung cloud computing lang ang binabayaran mo. Hindi mo nasagot yung maintenance. Hindi mo nasagot yung equipments. Pag kailangan lang ng business mo mag-upgrade, magre-request ka lang. No, i-request mo lang na I want to upgrade my storage. Ganyan. I want more compute power. No, i-request mo lang. No? Wala nang hassle. No? Hindi ka na pipili pa ng mas uh, magandang brand ng equipments. No? Hindi mo na kailangan mag-ano ng operating system. Update ng operating system. Sila nang bahala sa maintenance. Doon ka tipid. No? Tsaka, wala ka nang pinapasahod na sysad. Kaya kami mga sysad. Delikado na. To put it another way, cloud computing is a way to rent compute power and storage from someone else's data center. Okay? You can treat cloud resources like you would resources on your own data center. When you're done using them, you give them back. You're billed only for what you use. Okay? So, parang matipid to kasi hindi mo na kailangan ng sarili mong data center. Sila nang bahala. And pabor din sa kanila yon, win-win din sila kasi yung resources nila pinaghati-hatian lang natin. Okay? Kapag wala na tayo, sa iba naman nila papagamit. So, ganun. As business perspective, um, halos sila. No? Lahat nagagamit. Lahat ng equipment sila nagagamit. Kumikita. Ano, wala sa topic yun. Anyways, instead of maintaining CPUs and storage in your data center, you rent them for the time that you need them. The cloud provider takes care of maintaining the underlying infrastructure for you. The cloud enables you to quickly solve your toughest business challenges and bring cutting-edge solutions to your users. So yun nga sinasabi ko, sila na ang sagot sa maintenance pag nagka-problema, kung ano man na problema regarding physical equipments or something. Sila ang bahala dun. Okay? So, hindi ka lugi kasi if ever, hindi na wag naman sana, kung yung mangyari sa yung apektuhan ng yung business, magkaroon ng physical issues, okay, or technical issues, babayaran ka niyan, sus Microsoft pa. No? So, walang problema. So, why should I move to the cloud? The cloud helps you move faster and innovate in ways that were once nearly impossible. In our ever-changing digital world, two trends emerge. Teams deliver new features to their users at record speeds. Users expect an increasingly rich and immersive experience with their devices and with software. Software releases were once scheduled in terms of months or even years. Today, team release features in smaller batches that are often scheduled in days or weeks. Some teams even deliver software updates continuously, sometimes with multiple releases within the same day. Okay, so parang sinasabi dito, kung mayroong software release sa Microsoft, halimbawa bagong update sa OS, hindi na kailangan pamigay per company, no? Ilalagay na lang nila sa cloud, which is ginagamit ng or nire-rent ng most of the companies na may cloud compute. Mas mabilis nga naman mapaparating mga software releases kasi isasalang lang sa cloud. Think of all the ways you interact with devices that you could do do a few years ago. Many devices can recognize your face and respond to voice commands. Augmented reality changes the way you interact with the physical world. Household appliances are even beginning to act intelligently. These technologies are only a few examples, of many of them are powered by the cloud. To power your services and deliver innovative and novel user experiences more quickly, the cloud provides on-demand access to a nearly limitless pool of raw compute, storage, and networking components, speech recognition, and other cognitive services that help you make your application stand out from the crowd, analytics services that deliver telemetry data from your software and devices. So in summary dito, yun nga, marami ng compute, raw compute, storage, networking components, lahat nasa cloud na. Kung meron ka lang VMware platform, lahat nandun eh. Meron ka ng NIC, meron ka ng, di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan ng mga physical components. Nandun na lahat. Speech recognition and other cognitive services, no? So parang meron ka ng Siri, parang meron ka ng AI. So ayan, mawawalan ng trabaho yung mga call center. Mga tanong na simpleng tanong lang, customer inquiry lang. Nako, ito na. Ito na ang sasagot, yung mga AI. Analytics services and deliver telemetry data from your software devices. Kung hindi ka magaling na data analyst, ito ang challenge sa'yo. No? Kailangan matalo mo to. No? So, marami ding mawawalan ng trabaho dito. Mga data analyst na. Ako isang analyst lang. Anyways, let's continue. What is Azure? What is Azure? May video ulit. Panorin natin.
What is Azure? Azure
Azure
is
pala.
Microsoft's
Okay,
cloud
fine.
computing
Azure.
platform with an ever expanding set of services to help you build solutions to meet your business goals. Azure supports infrastructure, platform, and software as a service computing with services such as virtual machines running in the cloud, website and database hosting, and advanced computing services like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT. Most of Azure's services are pay-as-you-go. You only pay for the computing time that you use. If your business needs complete control over your computing environment, Azure allows you to host virtual machines in the cloud. You can create virtual machines from scratch,
Galing.
upload your own virtual hard drive, or choose from an array of templates that Azure provides. Azure also provides cloud-based storage, which allows you to store your application or backup data safely and securely. Azure's app services provide a scalable hosting platform where developers can create web-based applications using popular development frameworks. You can easily deploy, operate, and scale your apps in a fully managed environment. With Azure Functions, you can create event-driven, serverless applications with no coding required. Azure Container Instances and Azure Kubernetes Service allow you to deploy containerized applications with fully managed services. Azure offers a choice of fully managed relational and in-memory databases, spanning proprietary and open-source engines, and Microsoft's Cosmos DB provides support for several popular NoSQL APIs. Azure's artificial intelligence and machine learning services empower developers and data scientists with a wide range of productive experiences for building, training, and deploying machine learning models faster. Azure's regional data centers allow you to distribute your applications globally, so you can locate your data and apps where they're needed most, thereby improving your application performance for your customers. The Azure portal lets you create, configure, and control all your services and resources from a single, easy-to-use web-based interface. Microsoft Azure offers a wide array of cloud computing services where infrastructure management, scalability, availability, and security are handled for you, saving you time and money.
Hmm. Wow. Ang galing na nakaisip nito. Upload mo lang sa... Andun lahat eh. May web services na, may security na. Hindi mo na akalain ma-hack ka. Hindi mo na isiping ma-hack ka pa or makukorap yung mga OS mo. Galing. Right, continue. Azure is a continually expanding set of cloud services that help your organization meet your current and future business challenges. Azure give you the freedom to build, manage, deploy applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and frameworks. Oh, may mention kanina, yung pagde-deploy, parang meron silang Kubernetes, man. Kubernetes. So parang ano yun eh, Docker. Related yun sa Docker, yung mga containers na pag dineploy mo, may sarili ng services. Yung mas mabilis ang deployment yun eh. Pero pag-aralan na lang natin yun on another section kasi mahaba-habang lesson yun. Alright, so what does Azure offer? With help from Azure, you have everything you need to build your next great solution. The following table is several of the benefits that Azure provides so you can easily invent with purpose. Be ready for the future. Continuous innovation from Microsoft supports your development today and your product visions for tomorrow. Build on your terms. You have choices with a commitment to open source and support for all languages and frameworks. You can build how you want and deploy where you want to. You have choices with a commitment to open source. Okay. So, pwede maglagay ng open source. Nice. Operate hybrid seamlessly on premises in the cloud and at the edge. Will meet you where you are. Integrate and manage your environments with tools and services designed for hybrid cloud solution. Hybrid cloud. Ibig sabihin ng hybrid cloud. So, ano yan? Combination ng physical components na meron ka plus yung cloud. Yan natin. Hindi ko alam yan eh. Sorry naman. Hybrid Cloud. What is hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud is one in which applications are running in a combination of different environments. Parang ganun nga. Mm, so hybrid cloud, ito maganda meaning to. Bagal na internet ko. Ay, I'm in the Philippines kasi. Alright. Hybrid cloud refers to a mixed computing, storage, and services environment made up of on-premises infrastructure, private cloud services, and a public cloud. Okay. So, combination ng private cloud at public cloud services, such as Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. Platforms using combination of public clouds, premises computing, and private clouds in your data center means that you have a hybrid cloud infrastructure. So, para to sa may mga um, private databases na gusto nilang secure, more security, feeling nila mas secure sa kanila. No? Meron silang private cloud. Benefits ng hybrid cloud. Although cloud services can drive cost savings, their main value lies supporting a fast-moving digital business and transformation. When ventures to agendas, IT to the business, agents focus on making. Part of that is agility. They need to adapt and change direction quickly as a core principle of digital business. I see. Okay. Kung meron ka namang private cloud nga naman, mas mabilis nga naman ang transport ng data. Kasi nasa same turf lang. Hindi mo na kailangan dumaan ng internet. More on local connections lang. So, pag-acquire ng data, meron silang application mag-acquire ng data, mas mabilis. Ayun, palagay ko yun. Agility. Mm. Agility, di ba? Ano yun? Critical. M. Mabilis. Pantif. Assassin. Ayos yan. Decompo. Alright, yeah. Agility. Tama. Kung meron silang mga internal applications, nga naman, di na kailangan kumonek sa internet yun. No, mas mabilis pa yung backup natin, di ba? Sa local. Kaya, meron pa rin hybrid cloud. Okay, so, okay, move on. Tsaka natin pagiging yung hybrid cloud. Okay, so Treasure Cloud gets security from the ground up, backed by a team of experts and proactive compliance, trusted by enterprises, governments, and startups. What can I do with Azure? Azure provides more than 100 services that enable you to do everything from running your existing applications on virtual machines to exploring new software paradigms. Oh, tech paradigms, ano na naman yan? Paradigms, daming alam. Software paradigms. Baka ano lang to, same meaning lang. Sorry po. Alright, software paradigms refer to methods and steps which are taken while designing software. Okay, so parang flowcharting. There are many methods proposed in work, but today what we need is your software engineering and these paradigms stand. Okay, mga pang software engineering na to. Sysad ako, so wala akong paki dyan. Ay, hindi. Pwede rin. Pang DevOps. Yeah. Alright. So, hinost din ng Azure ang software paradigms such as intelligent bots and mixed reality. May ganon. Intelligent bots and mixed reality. So, meron ding aid sa mga developer itong si Azure. New software paradigms. Siguro ano siya, compatible siya sa iba't ibang software paradigms. Naks, gets na, no? software paradigms, and different kinds na para ma-deploy yung software. Dapat matic, no? Compatible si Azure dyan. Siguro yung mga GitHub, no? Jenkins, whatevs. Okay, move on. Many teams start exploring the cloud by moving their existing applications to virtual machines that run in Azure. Migrating your existing apps to virtual machines is a good start, but the cloud is much more than a different place to run your virtual machines. For example, Azure provides AI and machine learning services that can naturally communicate with your users through vision, hearing, and speech. It also provides storage solutions that dynamically grow to accommodate massive amounts of data. Storage solutions, okay. Mhm. AI. Yan ang sinasabi ko na maraming mga call center reps mawalan trabaho kasi may ganyan na. Alright, Azure services enable solutions that aren't feasible without the power of cloud. Okay. Alright, video ulit. Tuloy natin.
Microsoft Azure is a private and public cloud platform that helps developers and IT administrators to build, deploy, and manage their applications. Azure uses a technology known as virtualization. Virtualization separates the tight coupling between a computer's hardware and its operating system, using an abstraction layer called a hypervisor. The hypervisor emulates all the functions of a real computer and its CPU in a virtual machine, optimizing the capacity of the obstructed hardware. It can run multiple virtual machines at the same time, and each virtual machine can run any compatible operating system, such as Windows or Linux. Azure takes this virtualization technology and repeats it on a massive scale in Microsoft data centers throughout the world. Each data center has mini racks filled with servers, and each server includes a hypervisor to run multiple virtual machines. A network switch provides connectivity to all those servers. One server in each rack runs a special piece of software called a fabric controller. Each fabric controller is connected to another special piece of software known as the orchestrator. The orchestrator is responsible for managing everything that happens in Azure, including responding to user requests. Users make requests using the orchestrator's web API. The web API can be called by many tools, including the user interface of the Azure portal. So, when a user makes a request to create a virtual machine, the orchestrator packages everything that's needed, picks the best server rack, and then sends the package and request to the fabric controller. Once the fabric controller has created the virtual machine, the user can connect to it. Azure makes it easy for developers and IT administrators to be agile when they build, deploy, and manage their applications and services. In fact, building a virtual machine is just the beginning of Azure's ever-expanding set of cloud services that will help you meet your business challenges. It gives you the freedom to build, deploy, and manage applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and frameworks.
Okay, so kailangan ko lang mag-take notes about sa video na yon kasi malay natin, tanungin tayo about it, no? Okay, so una, how does Azure work? Ulitin ko nga ulit.
Microsoft Azure is a private and public cloud platform that helps developers and IT administrators to build, deploy, and manage their applications. Azure uses a technology known as virtualization.
Virtualization, alam ko na yan. Okay, next.
Virtualization separates the tight coupling between a computer's hardware and its operating system, using an abstraction layer called a hypervisor.
Okay, abstraction layer, hypervisor. Hypervisor, abstraction. Hypervisor. Okay. Google natin yan. Hypervisor. Meaning. Narinig ko to. Okay. Wala siyang VMware. No? VMware siya. Ayun. Hypervisor is a computer software or firmware or hardware that allows partitioning the resources of a CPU among multiple operating systems. I see. Okay, di ba, meron akong computer, meron na may CPU, na may memory, malamang. Tapos ininstall ko ng OS. Yung CPU at memory nun, um, naka-assign lang doon sa OS na yan. Itong si hypervisor, pwede niyang i-assign yung compute nun ng CPU at ng memory sa multiple operating systems na naka-install. Siya yung kumbaga naghahati-hati. Okay, so yung compute na yun naka-assign sa hypervisor at si hypervisor, siya yung nagdi-distribute. No? Siya yung nagpa-partition. Okay? Firmware. Ano ba ang firmware? Hindi ko rin alam ang firmware. Firmware versus software. Sorry naman. Hindi ko alam to eh. Okay. So firmwares are generally a type of software used to control hardware devices. Oh, firmware. So para siyang driver. Okay, firmware versus software. Firmware is a low-level software that sits between hardware and the OS. Okay. So kadalasan si firmware nakakonect sa OS. Oo, kasi si firmware, siya yung nagko-control or madalas na nagko-control sa hardware. Si software naman, on top of the OS siya. Okay. Pwedeng hiwalay siya sa OS. Si firmware, mostly nakakabit siya sa OS. Kasi siya yung nagko-control ng drivers. Ng software. Parang driver. Okay? Nice. Ganun pala yun. Sorry naman. Okay, moving on. So, how does Azure work? Hypervisor.
The hypervisor emulates all the functions of a real computer and
Emulate.
its CPU in a
Tama.
virtual machine.
Tama, para siyang emulator. Works like emulator. EPPXE. Parang ganun. Right?
Optimizing the capacity of the obstructed hardware. It can run multiple virtual machines at the same time, and each virtual machine can run any compatible operating system, such as Windows or Linux. Azure takes this virtualization technology and repeats it on a massive scale in Microsoft data centers throughout the world. Each data center has mini racks filled with servers, and each server includes a hypervisor to run multiple virtual machines.
Alright, so meron sa mga servers na merong hypervisor. And then runs multiple VMs. Okay.
A network switch provides connectivity to all those servers. One server in each rack runs a special piece of software called a fabric controller.
Okay, each server has fabric controller.
Each fabric controller is connected to another special piece of software known as the orchestrator. The orchestrator is responsible for managing everything that happens in Azure. including responding to user requests. Users make requests using the Orchestrator's web API.
Okay, Orchestrator. Meron siyang API. API which CX uses. CX customer uses to communicate to Azure.
The web API can be called by many tools, including the user interface of the Azure portal.
It's web API that has the Azure portal. Azure portal.
So, when a user makes a request to create a virtual machine, the orchestrator packages everything that's needed, picks the best server rack, and then sends the package and request to the Fabric controller.
Okay, so si Orchestrator, ano yun? Ulit-ulit. Ulit-ulit. Ayan.
The orchestrator packages everything that's needed, picks the best server rack, and then sends the package and request to the Fabric controller. Once
Packages, requests from CX. Then sends package to Fabric controllers. This is Fabric controllers. Okay, so parang ito yung bridge. Para sa akin, ang term ko kay Fabric controller, bridge between orchestrator and hypervisor. All right. Next.
the Fabric controller has created the virtual machine, the user can connect to it. Azure makes it easy for developers and IT administrators to be agile when they build, deploy, and manage their applications and services. In fact, building a virtual machine is just the beginning of Azure's ever-expanding set of cloud services that will help you meet your business challenges. It gives you the freedom to build, deploy, and manage applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and frameworks.
Okay. All right. So what is the Azure portal? What is Azure portal? It's a web-based unified console that provides alternative to command line tools with the Azure portal. You can manage your Azure subscription by using graphical user interface. You can build, manage, and monitor everything from simple web apps to complex cloud deployments. You can create custom dashboards for an organized view of resources. You can configure accessibility options for an optimal experience. So, dito mo makita lahat ng compute information. Okay, meron tayong mga dashboards. Tingnan mo kung ano yung mga nakukonsumo mo. Okay, dito mo makakonfigure yung accessibility options. Okay, for optimal experience. Okay, pwede ka rin mag-deploy dito, no? Manage eh. Build, manage, and monitor everything from simple web apps to complex cloud deployments. Okay, nice. All right, let's watch this video about Azure Portal. Take notes na rin tayo.
The Azure Portal is your one-stop graphical management solution for creating, configuring, and controlling all your Azure services and subscriptions. The portal makes it easy to create resources through a wizard-like environment, from something as simple as a website to a geographically redundant database to a full Kubernetes cluster. Once you have resources created, the portal lets you adjust the various parameters and settings for your resources, add users to your cloud-based Active Directory, implement security policies, and plan backup schedules. You can personalize your portal experience through custom dashboards that you create to see the data that is most important to you. Within the portal, you can start and stop services as needed. You can scale your services by adding or removing resources from your subscription, according to your business needs. You can also monitor the health of your applications, track your costs and billing status, analyze the performance of your applications in real time, or create reports for in-depth analysis. The Azure Portal is your gateway to managing everything in your Azure subscription, whether you are creating new resources, configuring existing resources, or controlling Azure services. The Azure Portal is your place to manage your company's business on Azure.
Okay, basic. All right, so the Azure portal is designed for resiliency and continuous availability. It maintains presence in every Azure data center. This configuration makes the Azure portal resilient to individual data center failures and avoids network slowdowns by being close to users. The Azure portal updates continuously and requires no downtime for maintenance activities. Yun, di ba? Kapag ikaw ang may-ari ng data center, i-manage mo pa yung ano, no, downtime kasi magkakaroon ng maintenance. Dito, pag nasa cloud ka, hindi mo na problema yon. Problema na nila yun. Basta dapat walang downtime. Dapat tumatakbo lahat ng systems mo. Yun ang isa pa sa mga advantage. O, dapat nililista ko yung advantages. Okay. Advantage of cloud. No hassle on maint downtimes. Yan, yung isa. No hassle for software updates. Alright, saan na tayo? Okay. Alright, ulitin ko lang dito, no? Designed for resiliency and continuous availability. Continuous availability, sabihin yan, okay, no downtime. I think. O, yun yan. For itong resiliency, sorry naman. Search ulit natin. Resiliency, meaning the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness. Ayan. The ability to of a substance object to spring back into shape. Okay, resiliency, ano yan? To recover faster. Ba may disaster, no? Meron tayong disaster recovery. In short, meron tayong system resiliency. Okay? Sa mga magjowa, ano to? Mabilis makamove on. Sana all. Alright, so, moving on. So, ito yung sample ng Azure portal. Kasi natin ito notes ko. So, Azure portal, ito. Resource groups, virtual machines, app services, storage accounts, SQL database, Azure database for progress, Azure Cosmos DB, Kubernetes. Okay. Ano tong ano? Resource groups. Ito, database. Ko alam yan. Ano to? Resource groups. Container that holds related resources for an Azure solution. Okay. Resource groups. Organize your Azure resources. Okay. Um, so ibig sabihin nung cube na to, pinagsama-sama na. Database services. Okay. So kung meron kang marketing group, production group, andiyan na yun. Ito yung mga nag-handle ng grupo ng mga tao mo. Marketing, management group. Sila yung mga gumagamit pa ng siguro sila rin yung may access din sila sa portal or whatsoever. Or may access sa mga VMs. Okay. So parang palagi ko connected sa Active Directory ano. Access oh. Sino may access dito sa group na to? Project A. Ganyan. Resource groups. So more on accessibility, access, permissions, um, access, permissions, no, ano tawag to? Access, permissions, rights, no, dito. Dito yata mina-manage sa resource groups sa Azure portal. What are resource groups? Resource groups are the central unit system automations for multi-platforms. Logical containers can be treated as one logical instance. Okay, what's the purpose of resource group? Collect merit from each individual resource to facilitate more granular management. Okay. So, mina-manage mo yung mga resources dito. Either software, hardware, or people. Tama ba? Resource groups from each individual resource group in Azure. What is the resource groups in Azure? Make sure lang natin. Kasi nag-base lang ako dun sa picture. Ah. Organizing your resources in the cloud is critical for securing, managing, and accurately tracking costs related to your workloads. For organizations operating in Azure o tama, okay? For organizations operating in Azure, you can create logical groups of resources called Azure Resource Groups to easily apply access controls, monitor activity, and manage spend on a granular level in your Azure environment. So, yun nga, manage mo yung mga organizational groups, no? Okay, access controls. It's either ano to, human or software. Monitor mo yung activity. Yan, merong management groups. Ayan, di ba? Yan yun. Pwede mga ano yan, mga services na may access na halimbawa, FTP, no? FTP services, ayun, dapat may access yan. mga deployment services. Okay, so dyan yun. Dyan sila na, dyan na ma-manage yung access nila. Okay, alright, sorry. Nalipat sa kung saan-saan. Ayun na naman. Alright, so yun lang. Yun lang yung curiosity ko about this resource groups. And to databases, okay. Ayoko muna pasukin pagiging database admin. So, okay na yan. Dashboards. Alright, let's move on. What is Azure Marketplace? Okay, so what is Azure Marketplace? Patapos na ba tayo? Patapos na. Isang oras na pala itong stream ko. Alright. Continuation next video na after nito. Okay? So what is Azure Marketplace? So parang Android lang to. Azure Marketplace helps connects users with Microsoft partners, independent software vendors, startups that are offering their solutions and services which are optimized to run on Azure. Azure Marketplace customers can find, try, purchase, and provision applications and resources from hundreds of leading service providers. All solutions and services are certified to run on Azure. So yun nga, so lahat ng mga services ay nandito certified, compatible with Azure Cloud, which is Citrix, Red Hat. Ito rin mismo yung usually ginagamit ng mga companies natin. SQL, Red Hat, Citrix. Dami. Okay. So, pricing, ayan. Parang App Store lang din talaga. No? The solution catalog spans several industry categories such as open source, container platforms, virtual machine images, databases, application building, deployment software, developer tools, threat detection, and blockchain. Using Azure Marketplace, you can provision end-to-end solutions quickly and reliably. Hosted in your own Azure environment at the time of writing, there are more than 8,000 listings. Azure Marketplace is designed for IT pros and cloud developers interested in commercial and IT software. Microsoft partners also use it as launch point for all joint go-to-market activities. Okay, so I think dito na bibili yung mga, obviously yung mga software na kailangan. Pero question I have in mind is, paano kung hybrid cloud at meron akong mga ganitong software? What if hmm, kung hindi updated yun sa akin, di ba? Compatible pa rin kaya kay Azure, no? Mararan pa rin kaya ni Azure. Well, who knows? Wala pang accounts Azure. Okay, so yeah, yun lang ang tanong ko dito. What if I have a application? Meron akong meron akong meron akong kwento. Or I mean, meron akong Citrix installed sa aking private cloud. Pwede ko rin ba siyang gamitin sa Azure Cloud? No? I-install ko sa cloud. Gagana kaya? Or mas okay kung matik nilang i-update? Ewan natin. Or kailangan pang i-purchase. Okay. Anyways, pagod na ako. Baka wala nang relation ng mga questions ko. So, alright, see you on the next video. Next video is about tour of Azure services. Alright, break time.